Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us live today. It's yet another edition of our Friday program, Friday seminars. And on these seminars, one thing that we try to do is to bring you things that would, become like information, valuable information that will help you on your transition journey, be it US, UK, Australia, Canada, any country that you're going to, we want to be relevant in your process. So we are also asking you, if you feel like there's something that we need to discuss or someone we need to bring to this program, just shoot me a DM with the name of the person and we'll make it happen. So today we have a very long time friend in the sense that we've known ourselves for a long time. Like we work together in the same place. We like every morning I wake up, I go to my unit. My unit is always facing his unit. So we always interact. We are always, seeing each other on the corridors. And I appreciate him a lot because he is someone who he doesn't hold back. He's always willing to give back. And the first time I talked to him, he was telling me his story, and I know I was part of that story sometime, but he is the one that wears the shoe, and I felt like I told him, you know what? Some people that have been coming to me telling me retrogression of 2 years have dealt with their life. You need to hear this story because sometimes you think you have seen it all until you see something that is more than your own. So I said, what we're going to do is that I will have you come for this program at the beginning of the year so that you can, encourage people who are trying to get discouraged in the process. And he said just a straightforward yes. I'll be glad to do it. Just let me know when. And that's the common denominator with people that we bring to you on this program. They are always willing to give back. So I want to thank you, Mr. Bulama. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Decency, for having me. Thank you.
How is the weather in your area?
It's crazy. Yeah. Snowy. I mean, we have like 10 inches right now laying on the floor.
Wow. We had about 5 inches the other day and we couldn't even go. So school was called out the whole of last week. All my kids were home. Nobody was going to school in Chesapeake, Virginia. Everybody was home. I was like, it's hard. I don't know how people that get 10 inches cope because our area, we don't always get snow. But whenever we panic, you understand? And everything shuts down. They will start announcing earlier on, you should go to the grocery, get all your supplies, get your torchlight in case your light goes out and everything. But, we thank God it was 1 week of having the kids at home and you know how crazy it can be. But we thank God. Yeah. So, Kasim, I start from honestly, I know that you had it rough, in your American dream. I mean, we all started our American dream almost the same time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
American dream. And then along the line, yours started taking long. I just want, I wanted to find out, first of all, let's go to your background first. You look, I don't know, are you Nigerian? Are you American? Because with your complexion
well, if I'm in Nigeria, you will think, well, maybe I'm Fulani.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, or fortunately enough, that I'm not either Shua or Fulani. So my complexion comes from my mom, and my mom is European. And my dad is from North Nigeria.
Okay.
So before we delve into how a northerner come to America, that's another different story that I would need to.
Exactly, my northern people. Yes.
Even though in our participant, I didn't see any person from North except Kujarat.
No, we used to have Kabir. There's a frequent flyer. His name is Kabir. He always
comes. Okay. So
when he comes, we tell him to get his cronies.
So my mom is from Europe. I was born in Europe and precisely in Bulgaria, which is very close to. So during the Soviet Union, it was part of Russia, right? It was part of Russia. After the Soviet Union, they were given their own independence. and they became a sovereign country. So my dad went to study there, and then he found his love of his life, and then he married, and
Mm.
they gave birth to me, only child.
Wow.
Then after his studies, she came to Nigeria with us, but she couldn't stay. I mean, the weather,
Oh my
it's
God.
so hot,
I
especially
can only
in
imagine.
cold notes. It's very
Mhm.
hot, so she couldn't stay, and she has to leave. And my dad was like, I have to take my son. You know how men we behave sometimes. So
Exactly.
that's how I grew up with my dad, not
Mhm.
growing with my mom, but we reconnected later. That's a different entirely story.
Sorry.
So
Wow.
that's where my complexion really comes from. So I am half Nigerian, half European. I
Okay.
refuse to take my citizenship of Europe because I want to take the citizenship of United States, which that's the dream of everyone, right?
Right, right, right. Good. Oh, thank you for that very brilliant intro. So now, coming to your nursing profession, I know you are an ICU nurse, and
Yeah.
you were an ICU nurse of a good repute in Nigeria. I know that we used to do open heart surgeries back then in National Hospital. I'll be in the OR side, and you will be in the ICU side recovering our patient. So, on that ground, what made you as an ICU nurse doing very well? Because I know it's not just National Hospital you work. Now we were hustlers.
Yes, yeah.
Everywhere.
So
So,
so I started in my degree. So when I finished my school of nursing, I started with a small, very small, tiny clinic. That we were not even admitting patients, we were just outpatient seeing, and stuff like that. And then things like gynecological examination and stuff like that, just for like 1 year or maybe 6 months, I think. Then I found a job in state specialist hospital, which is a government hospital. We were paid like 16,000 naira per month
wow.
at that time. So um, funny enough, before the month ends, I'm already in debt. So as I'm
Exactly.
collecting money, I pay. So as the years goes by, so I finished 2006, right? I finished my nursing 2006. Then I got a job 2006 around December. Then 2007, I started with the state specialist. Then there are two state specialists. We went and opened a new one, which the governor selected some few people like me and other people. We went and opened that place. I chaired the surgical medical unit for almost 2 years. I was the charge nurse. Then I became a compound officer there. Then I got a job with teaching hospital in Maiduguri, which is called UMTH, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, in 2009, precisely in April, I could remember. So um, I was one of the best person that scored highest in the exam, the whole overall. So we were given some gift, even with employment, we were given some gift as well,
Good.
and stuff like that. So I started there. I started in ENT unit. That's Ian Ostroth.
Mhm.
I worked there for 1 year. Then I used to go to ICU. I have a friend, like a guardian. He's a guardian. His name is Zanna. He's a
Mhm.
very good guy, very intelligent guy. He knows
Mhm.
his stuffs, right?
Mhm.
So if I go to him, we talk about, during those days, your brain is kind of like, oh yeah, I know this, I know that. You just want to know more and more and more.
Mhm.
So this guy always keeps giving me stuff. I was not a student, but I used to go to him to just teach me ventilator, ionotropes and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I became very, inquisitive and interested in ICU. So in 2011, that's when I went to ICU school.
Mhm.
Um, ICU school, I finished my ICU school. We went to Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Ghana. We did our, they call it exchange program.
Mhm.
We did 6 weeks there. We came back. If there's any ICU nurse there, maybe had an experience of that.
Mhm.
So from Gwagwalada, especially. So we finished that. I came back. I was working there until 2014. So before then, dwell into that a little bit further is that a team of German professor came with his student to, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. And then I was opportune because of my political connection with people. The PAMSEC then introduced me to the professor, who is a German. And
Mhm.
there's a program called DAAD in Germany. It's like
Mhm.
an exchange program for medical students from Nigeria to go to Germany and from Germany to come to Nigeria.
Mm.
So the German students were given to me to precept them. So I
Mhm.
was precepting them. I was teaching them the tropical medicine, the tropical way of managing our ICU patients. And so
Mhm.
after everything, the students recommended me to go to Germany to their
Wow.
professor.
Wow.
So so I was given the opportunity. I went there, spent 6 months. That's when I came back. That is when Mr. Aliyu, who is my
Mhm.
the National Hospital
Head
director.
of nursing.
He is
Yes.
my teacher in School of
Yeah.
Nursing. So
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so he called me. He said, Kasim, hey, do you before even that, a lady, Mariam Shetima, was given the opportunity because it is a quota-based, you know,
Yes.
yeah.
Employment.
So but I had in mind that I'm going to leave Nigeria anyways, you know. So
Yeah.
that plan is there, that
Mhm.
idea that, yeah, Nigeria is not the best place for nurses. I
Mhm.
mean, in my own thinking, right?
Right.
So the opportunity was given to Mariam. Mariam declined the opportunity, but she related to me, say, Kasim, if you want the opportunity, you can take it. I said, why not? The pay wasn't very good as compared to what I'm getting because I was a senior nursing officer in teaching hospital, while
Yeah.
I'm national hospital as NO2. You
Oh,
can
okay.
imagine the difference. But I still accepted. Maybe the fate was calling me, say,
Yeah.
hey, the rewards ahead. So
Right.
that's when I went to National Hospital in 2014.
Mhm.
Okay. I got to know my wife that I'm marrying right now in 2014. We got married in 2015. That's a different separate thing.
Blessings of National Hospital.
So in National Hospital, the salary wasn't sufficient enough. You know how Abuja is very expensive
I
with
know.
wife.
Housing.
We were just hustling, and I felt, I think all of us did that. We have to
Mhm.
work two jobs.
Exactly.
So we were doing the open heart surgery program. Then we took a patient in National Hospital for echocardiogram. No, not for echocardiogram, for cardiac catheterization in
Mhm.
Nizamiya.
Okay.
That was how I got to enter Nizamiya Hospital.
Okay.
I took the patient myself to Nizamiya, and then Dr. Kirman. I know you know
Mhm.
Kirman.
I know
Remember
Kreman.
Kirman?
I work with him too.
Kirman, I had conversation with him about, the condition of the guy. He has a large VSD, stuff like that. So he was like, oh, so you know your stuff. Okay. Do you want to work with me? So he went to Ibrahim, who is the HR, and then talked to him. And then I was called, and thank God, and I was placed on a higher pay.
Yeah.
Uh, so I
Well,
went to
Zamia
Nizamiya
was a big deal.
2015, 16, I think, between 15, 16.
Mhm.
So that was my journey, career-wise.
Awesome.
Education-wise, I had qualification BSN, RN, ICU, computer schools.
Mhm.
I had certifications on CPR, ACLS, even in Nigeria, we were doing all these
Right.
things. Yeah. So
Right.
many traveling NGO organizations traveling here and there. Those are
Right.
the little things that I can say about me.
Wow, that's great. It's not little. These are big things,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
They are very big things. And I want to thank you for your hard work and persistence and taking care of your patients all this while
Thank you.
with
Thank you.
very good results. Thank you so much. When did
Thank
you decide to go on the American journey?
Great, that's a good question. So when we came to National Hospital, we didn't come with the intention that National Hospital is they call it a stepping stone. What did
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't come with that intention. I just felt Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. Everybody wants to live inside,
Mhm.
however it is. But when I went to National Hospital, the story changed a little bit. I see people now talking about traveling. I was like, oh, so my motivation was there, but I wasn't zealed enough to start it off.
Mhm.
So what encouraged me and challenged me more is that there is a man who, Mr. Obet,
Okay, Imegu, yeah.
Ehimegu. So Ehimegu, he's almost a 60-year-old man
Exactly, guys.
who
Exactly.
who
Go
was
ahead.
driving him. I mean, he was being prostrated in National Hospital, not promotion, no anything, but he was striving so much to come to the United States. And then whenever he asked questions and answers, even though I wasn't doing NCLEX, but I don't know, for some reason he has confidence in me.
Mhm,
So he comes over from the OR to the ICU, then we discuss. Maybe with my ICU experience, that's what he wanted to use.
mhm,
So we discuss about his questions and answers, and he would tell me, Kasim, what are you waiting for?
mhm.
You can even write this exam.
That's
Think
typical
of
him.
it. So I was like, I wasn't encouraged really, but the time when I was encouraged more is that when I heard that he's going for his NCLEX in Philippines. I was asking him, what motivated you? You're an old man. Every old man wants to just retire and stay
Mhm,
with his kids and stuff. But
mhm.
why do you want to? He said, well, he's not doing this for himself. He's doing this for his kids.
Wow.
So when he told me that, I was really thrilled to really think twice and say, well, am I smart? Because every smart person should know a way forward, not to
Mhm.
think of retirement in
Yes.
Nigeria, right?
Yes. Mhm,
So and then thank God I have a very good wife, very encouraging woman. So I wasn't very good in English, very not very fluent in English that time because Northerners are not known with good English and stuff like that. So,
exactly.
but she was born and raised in Abuja, so she has a very good background of English. So I went 2015 to take the exam, you know. Uh, so I joined this agency called Avant, and
Mhm.
Avant gave me their first assessment exam. I was thinking maybe that was the exam. That was the final exam that I'm gonna do. So I had to go to Nikon
Beginning.
Hilton
Mhm,
to pay their internet services to do the
mhm.
exam, thinking, oh, I mean, this this is something huge. I need to sacrifice money to pay in Nikon Hilton to do it. So I went with my wife, and
Mhm.
I was able to write the exams, but unfortunately, I didn't pass the exam in 2015, early January.
Okay.
So then I gave up. I gave up. Ihemegu Udemadu Obed was on top of me all the
Mhm,
time,
mhm,
telling me, "Hey, look, I mean, every single moment you waste in Nigeria, you're
mhm.
wasting part of your life."
That's true.
Because
Hey,
yeah,
viewers, let me cut you short a little bit. If you want to pray, pray that God will give you Obed in your life. He encouraged all of us. He was like, anytime we see him, our heart will skip because he's, when you say somebody is close to his retirement, he was supposed to retire, I think 2 years to his retirement or about 4 years to his retirement. That's when he's doing all this. And you will see him carrying big textbooks like this, coming for night duty. He's always on night call. He likes
yeah,
to take everybody's call, take everybody's night shift. He comes to National Hospital, spends that 2 weeks, take everybody's call, then he will go somewhere and be reading, and then people will work for him. That's how he just comes to the roster. Do you want me to take he will take everything. If you bring case for him in the night, he will do the case. Immediately after the case, clean up his OR, go back to his book. You will see this guy sitting, you will go home, you come back, you still see him sitting. You'll be like, are you not, is but he still maintained. He gave majority of the National Hospital staff. In fact, one day I'm going to bring him to this program. I will bring him
yeah,
here because he gave a lot of people motivation. No, if most people that came out or started coming out from 2015, there's nobody in National Hospital that don't know Mr. Imegu.
yeah,
Because once you go to him, he's always willing to encourage you. He will tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. And you will see it's true because
yeah,
you will see that he himself is elderly and he is doing this, approaching 60 years of age. And he did this huge impact in all our lives. Kasim,
yeah.
continue, please.
Yeah. So I think as we are speaking right now, he has retired, so he has achieved his goal. So
Yes.
you see, so that was when I went in for the second exam. Then I passed, and discrepancies of documents, especially in the north, we have this discrepancy of document where you will see your name misspelled, this and that, a lot of challenges that I have to pass through um, to correct those discrepancies and other things until when Avant finally accepted me into their program. So I started the program. It was a hard one because during our time, now resources are so much resources for you to capture whatever you want to capture. So much online classes, online YouTube channels where you can follow. But during our time, those resources are not there. So it's only the books that were sent by Avant, and then there's McClemex.
Mhm.
McClemex
Yeah, audio.
he's a facilitator. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
facilitator, and he really gave us a lot of stuff. And
Mhm.
then people like Decency, among us, some that time we were encouraging each other to, what stage are you? What is stopping you? What is, until when all my group left me behind.
Mm.
So I was I was filed the first time. What do you call that? DS what? No, 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 not
No, the I-140.
I-140. I was denied three times.
Wow.
Three times. So
And those things take
uh,
like 6 months. Each time is 6 months to come out.
yes. And so I was denied three times, and then NVC also took long time for them to respond to me. After they've responded to me, you know, I went to Philippines. Thank God I passed. I saw people that start for almost six times, seven times, even the Filipinos that did not pass the exam. So, but thank God I passed the exam with one touch. And so I came back to Abuja hoping when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Until when I lost hope. Then I got a call from the embassy saying, "Hey, you're scheduled for your interview." So, well, I went. I went to Lagos with my family. It's huge because I have two children that time with my wife, and they are very small kids. So it was very hard for us. We flew. Thank God. I mean, the Nizamia money was working. Nizamia, I was getting some people traveling with people outside the country. I know if you know,
Right.
maybe you know about it, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I had some little money that was coming in here and there. So I used those opportunities to pay my flight ticket. We went to Lagos. Then um the the visa officer, from his response, I know there's a problem, you know. So I was on the counter, and then he told me we'll get back to you.
So what did you at that point know what the problem was?
No, no. So well, my background, that's the only thing I took. My background, I'm from Maiduguri.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, my mom is European.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Suddenly, I'm living in Abuja.
Okay.
So there is no much places for them to capture information at once on my case.
Mm.
And then during that time, Maiduguri was a hot zone, Boko Haram,
Oh,
so maybe in their mind, maybe, okay, maybe I know someone who is related to a Boko Haram. Yes, I mean,
yes.
every Maiduguri person that
Mm.
time must know one or two person who is related to a Boko Haram, or because they are among us, right? It's just
Yeah,
like if
they're
you go
just
to
one of the
the
community.
south, the IPOB, it's
Yeah,
people, right?
they are human beings. So
Yeah, human being like us. So I think that was what up till today they didn't tell me why.
wow.
They just said you're gonna be on administrative process. We're gonna do a good background on you. I was like, okay. So I was thinking maybe an Avant was telling me, no problem. After 3 months, they will get back to you. We were waiting. 2017, that was when I wrote my NCLEX. 2017 ending, I think that was when I went to do my my first interview. No,
Mm.
2018, sorry. 2018 January. That was when I did my first interview. We were waiting. There was no any call. There was no any message. You send message to the embassy, they won't even reply you. You try to call them, they will even say things that you might not want to call them again,
Mm.
depending on who picks the call. So
Right.
um, from that January 2018, we were hoping until when hope is lost.
Wow.
So we decided to not pursue or even think about it anymore.
Mm.
We gave up. Um, in Nizamia, I got to know someone who is an Indian, and he opened a big hospital in Kano, and he asked me to come in and set up the ICU for him and be the director of the ICU. He placed me on a good pay, I think like 800,000 naira at that time. So I decided to go to Kano with my wife to go and see how we can start life in Kano. You can imagine.
Wow.
So we left Abuja. No, we didn't pack, but we went for a day or two to
Just
go. So
to
I went
know
to the
how the place
ICU
is.
to do a requisition for them, whatever they want, the settings and everything, because that's what I do on site. Sometimes I set up ICUs. So on the process of doing that, I've accepted their offer, then in Kano, I got a call again. That was in 2021.
Wow. So from
Oh,
2018 to 2019 to 2020 and 2021, embassy was silent.
was silent.
Did they have your passport?
They have everything. No, they don't. No. Yeah. So the reason why I even gave up is that, I mean, that I knew that there's a problem in the embassy is that when they handed over, because they told us, people tell us that when they accept your passport and kept it on their side, it means there's a chances they will give you visa.
Visa. Yeah.
But if they return back your passport, then there's a problem.
Yes.
So that's what happened to me. They gave us our passport back.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. So that was when, the second time, the first time I went alone, right? I went with Medina and what's her name? Chiku, the lady, you call her mommy,
Is it
right?
Esther? Esther?
No, from National Hospital, OR now.
Oh, nursing mother.
Nursing mother.
Yeah. Okay.
So I went with nursing mother, and then
Medina. Medina was in Virginia before. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, she's in California now. So the two of them, the three of us went together. So I haven't heard from that 2018 January to 2021 January. That is when I was called from Kano that I should come to. So I called them when I had another baby, which is a third baby. Then I called them to tell them that, okay, I have a baby. So they now say, sorry guys. They now said, okay, I should come with a baby. Me alone should come with a baby. So, but I told my wife, hey, look, maybe if we go all together, maybe something will come up. You don't know what's gonna happen. If I go with the baby alone, they might accept the baby's passport and everything, and then tell me to go back again, and then forget me, and then after some. So I took a risk, and then I told my wife to just travel with me together with all the children.
Wow.
So we went 2021 to the embassy, and then they were like, why did you guys come all? I said, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. We are living in Abuja. If I come alone and you said, why didn't we come all? What would I say?
It will be a difficult task to go get them at that point.
Yeah, so it's better I spend that money to be
Bring
clear of
everybody.
my mind. Yeah, so that's how we went in, and then they accepted my baby, and they now said, okay, bring your passport. I think God touched the same person that interviewed me 2018 is the same person that they called, because if somebody is managing your case in the embassy,
It's the AP
if the
officer.
person is still working there, they will call him to manage the case again, even if it is after 10 years. So they called him back. When he saw me with 3 children, maybe God touched his heart. And then he now said, give me your passports.
Wow.
So that's how it happened. So I just gave him his passport. Immediately I gave him my passport, I know things is gonna happen now. So we went home. After a week, they called us to come and pick my passport. So I went and picked my passport in Lagos, and that's how the journey began. Yeah.
Come on, guys. This one is worth clapping for, honestly. So we started this 2015, and this journey took 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 before it. But the painful thing about this is that people were leaving. In fact, I know people that did their process 1 year. Between 2016 and 2019, there are people that could wake up today, say, I want to write NCLEX in the next 3 months, and they write NCLEX in the next 3 months, and they file for them. they do premium filing. Before you know it, their filing is up. Before you know it, they are in the United States within 1 year, within a space of 1 year, they have come. It was moving that fast before, you understand? And people took advantage of it. A lot of people took advantage. But here is Kasim. He took the same advantage that we took at the same time, but he is lasted till 2021 before he was able to come to the United States. You see? So there are stories, guys. There are stories that when you hear them, you will cool down a little bit. And this is one of them. This is actually one of them. And that's the reason why I said he must come here to tell his story by himself. You understand? Kasim, so during this time, you were still having babies. So you were not disturbed at all. You were just having, why were you having babies when you want to come to the United States? Because some of my people are asking me, should we get pregnant? I said no. Don't stay there and wait for embassy. Go, just focus on your life. Do whatever you want to do, as if the American journey is non-existent. You understand? And before you know it, this one will fall in line. And this thing is seeing things that it can be captured. You understand? Whenever you have a baby, it can be captured. So let's start from, is there anything that you can lay hand on that helped you to have this kind of patience? You didn't think about going to Canada, going to Saudi Arabia, going to UK or something like that. You were just, trying your best to give your family the best life in Nigeria. You can unmute yourself, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me switch to my phone because it seems like my battery is running down and I don't know where I left my charger. So I will switch to my phone right now. Okay.
All right, guys. Okay. So, guys,
So,
why? Okay.
yeah.
You're switching to the, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Once
gonna
you
switch
come in,
now.
I'll
Okay.
let you.
Okay.
While he's trying to take care of those technical difficulties, I just want to let you guys know, guys, there's different stories, they're different, but once you're committed to this process, one thing is that it will work out. If you have already made your commitment, you've already started this journey, you've gone so far in this journey, just be patient. Things are going to fall in line again. That's all I can say at this point. Some people want me to predict, when is it going to be? When will I come to the United States? I don't have answers to that. I cannot answer you when you're going to come to the United States. Of course, I'm not the US embassy, but I know that once you have passed your NCLEX, once you have, gone far, gotten your priority dates and you file I-140, it's moving. So people say, how do you judge when a process is moving and when it's not? You understand? You can only know when it's moving by knowing, if you're able to move from one stage to another. So people are moving from one stage to another. The only thing is that those that have gotten to the end of the process are unable to get interview dates. You understand? So that's one of the major problems that we're having, and that is due to the retrogression that we have. Believe me, one day retrogression will be a thing of the past, and it's only those who are at the top of the ladder that will be let in. So I want to have as many people as possible on that list of people who will be at the top of the ladder. Because if you go to India, if you go to Philippines, most of the people from these two countries, even though they have to wait, some people 10 years. Some people wait 10 years for this process, and they know when they are taking NCLEX, they know they are waiting 10 years. They are not bothered about, they just take the NCLEX, do the filing and wait, continue their life. When the 10 years matures, they will come out. So that's all I want to say. I will let Kasim take it over from here, man. The story is more sweet in his mouth. Kasim.
Yeah. So
Go
what's the
ahead.
question? What's the question again, please?
So my question is, what helped you? You had a lot of patience to be able to go through all this. So I just want to know what really helped you during this process.
So one of the things that really helped me is that there's one of my principle in life is that you don't hold so tight onto something that you don't have it at hand.
Mm.
Life has to still crawl. Life has to still roll. Life has to still continue, and make use best of your time in whatever opportunity you have. at that particular moment, whether it's America, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's wherever you are, you are a valuable asset. It is when you decide to make yourself unvaluable, that's when you stay the way you define yourself. So even if you're not coming to the United States, you should be aspiring for a greater future. You mustn't work in a hospital for you to be in that, And then faith is also a big factor. You have to have faith that if that thing, it's yours, is going to come back, it's going to come to you. If that thing that you're pursuing is yours, if God wanted you to have that thing, you will have it. So US, I didn't give up because I knew if it is mine, it's going to come to me. But that does not stop me from living my life, in Abuja. I just have to, because if you have family, you have to, even if you're sick, you have to provide food for them.
Right.
So you don't just say because US embassy refused me visa, so my life that's the end. No, life has to still continue anywhere you are, and make you best use of your time, your resources, your energy, and everything towards getting something better for yourself. You are a nurse, you are a valuable asset. And then in Nigeria, there are so many places where nurses get better pay. It depends on how you put in yourself here and there and here and there. I was opportune that time to also work with Central Bank of Nigeria as their facilitator. So whatever machine they bring in the hospital, for some reason, I have connection from God. Let me put it that. People just feel I know too much. So things that a lot of people at higher position will like to be there, I will just find myself there. Like teaching the directors in CBN clinic on how to use pumps, beds, some machines. That's how I continue my life. I was busy. So being busy also took off that thing in my mind. So I wasn't like just hospital, home, and then you have nothing doing. Then the next thing you begin to think is, oh, my US thing now, my US. But if you are busy, you are so chopped up on time. You don't even have time to think about US anymore until when it happens. I know I put it on pipeline. I know it's gonna happen if it is mine, and I left it there. And then it happened. So yeah, that's the thing.
I think you said it all. Being busy helps a lot. During retrogression, you might not take it from me now because you might think you're busy, but if you still have time to think about retrogression, you're not busy enough. So being busy helps you during retrogression. So find things to do, find things around you to do. During our own time, there was no dull moments. Kasim knows me now. National Hospital, Nizamiya Hospital, some other internal conjas with different doctors that we work with. We used to go to PPs in different hospitals in Abuja. Even outside Abuja, I've gone to Kaduna to do surgeries. I've gone to Kogi. I used to travel. We'll go to places to do surgeries to come back. We were busy. So if you are busy like that, you come back at night, you're tired. You just check your email. If anything popped up, fine. If it does not, you go to bed, you sleep like a baby. But if you keep on having time to think about this retrogression, let me see if I have one connection that can call one connection you cannot. America is not like that. You understand? So some of these things are things that is like viral infection. You have to wait for it to live out its full course. When it's finished, then we will come back to normal. You understand? Because believe you me, America will continue to have shortage of nursing staff. It will continue. We are here in the system. That's why we are saying relax. When it start biting on everybody now, when everybody that is making law have their grandmas and their granddad somewhere in a hospital, and the hospital is having one nurse running 10 patients, and the nurse is complaining, I don't have enough hands. Why I can't do more than what I'm doing now. I can't do anything. They will start talking about it, and it will open up. So guys, this thing is what you're taking home. Be busy during retrogression. It helps a lot. It helps you to refocus your mind on important things at that point in time. So now, another thing I also want to point out, Kasim said it silently, but it's good to marry a very supportive wife. It is very good to marry a supportive wife. So you said your wife helped you a lot during the process. Okay. You understand? Because, without the wife, if you marry a wife that is always eager, let us live, that's when you make a mistake. Or if you marry the husband that is always, let us live. If America is not working out, let us go to Gambia. You understand? And then you will just go to somewhere and then you jam your life. You understand? You might go to a country that when you now want to apply, they'll start looking at the country because of the country's relationship with the US. Let's say, for instance, you go to Iran now, or you go to one of the countries that don't have good relationship with the US. When you go there and come back, they will start looking at it. Okay, you've gone to this country. How are we going to look at you now? Are you clean or are you not clean? So sometimes it's just good to, first of all, know what's God's plan for you. And then secondly, like he said, if it's yours, it will come. You understand? But at the initial time, it might be rough. Just be busy during that time. Find things to do. And then those things will keep you busy at that time. So my fellow guys, if you guys are watching us, the people bringing you this are the only people that brings you the good news. So we are the vendor of good news. So we're bringing you this a very opportunity to learn how you can stay positive and stay productive during retrogression. And I think Kasim's story has said it all. Okay, so we're gonna, I know Kasim said he only had 1 hour, and I want to respect that. I don't want us to stay longer than 1 hour. I just want to give opportunity. If anybody has any question to ask Kasim, we have 10 more minutes of 9 minutes. We're just gonna take that time to ask question and have Kasim give us a closing remark on what will help. I know he has already given us one tip, being busy. See how busy he was doing a lot of things. Be busy as well. But if you have any question, guys, please kindly drop it on the comment section or raise your hand. I will give you the opportunity to open your mic and ask your question. All right. While we are doing that, I'm going to look at the comment section real quick and see if there's any question there. Yeah. So someone, his name is Ruby. Ruby said, "Thank you, sir. You've inspired me so much." So I know there's going to be a lot of inspiration coming from this. There's a lot of thank you, Kasim. Wow, Kasim, thank you so much. You've done well for yourself, Kasim. Thank you. There's a lot of messages there that is saying thank you to Kasim. So if you have any particular question you want to ask, if you don't want to ask, I can ask for you. So Kasim, I see you in the US and I see you in Nigeria. Any difference? Did you find it difficult to adjust when you came over here?
Difference, there's a huge difference because of resources availability. Our Nigerian nurses are very intelligent nurses. Until when you come to the United States, that's when you appreciate your knowledge, the effort you're putting in Nigeria to help dying people, especially in ICU. So here in the United States, everything is in abundance. There's nothing you're looking for that will help the patient survive or help maintain his health that you cannot get it as quickly as possible. In Nigeria, we have to improvise as much as we can, right? And there's a lot of things. They have a good system that regulates the ICU patient management, okay? Like 15 minutes or 1 hour rounding. You have to go and see your patient every 1 hour. Not physically, not to sit on the nursing station to look at. No, you have to go in and check your tubings, a lot of things, most of the hospitals that I'm working are level 1 hospitals, so you can see a lot of like airlines, the pulmonary artery catheter, a lot of things, right? But the thing is that here you have more autonomy to decide whether the patient is going to live or die. So it's like the ball is in your court. If you do the right thing on your patients, you can see the outcome here in the United States. In Nigeria, there is so much negligence because nobody is watching sometimes, and there's due to lack of resources, you might make a mistake, nobody is gonna even find out, right? But here, no. You will be very careful on the things you do. And it's a busy ICU, and the patient ratio is so fantastic. But you might say, oh, it's only 2 patients you have an ICU nurse, but that 2 patients is more than 8 patients in Nigeria. You will be busy on that one. Sometimes you will only have 1 patient. You'll be wondering why 1. But they know why they gave you 1 patient, because that patient alone, you will not even have time to sit down on your chair. It's so busy taking these, giving these bolus of fluid, giving these pain reliever, a lot of things. So the difference is clear. There's not much conflict between the doctors and nurses here. The role is clear. Everybody's role is clear. You don't jump into somebody's role, and somebody doesn't jump into your role. So the doctor knows that you are the one titrating medication. You are the one giving the medication. He's not going to pull in medication and give. No. During intubation, you're the one that is giving the RSA. We call it rapid sequence intubation medication, all the medications that you need to give for the doctor to have a smooth entrance with his ETT tube and stuff like that. So it gives you that confidence when you're working in IC, especially in ICU where I worked more, that confidence of deciding for your patients, that advocacy. You can have that autonomy to advocate for your patient as if it is you that they are treating. You know what I mean? So that's the difference, the difference. And then MTEL, there's what we call MTEL here in the US. MTEL is a system if Nigeria should have, a lot of people would have been saved. I had a very bad experience in one hospital, which Sir Decency, you know about it, the hospital, but I don't want to call the name. I mean, it's a renowned hospital. Somebody came in with strangulated hernia. You know how painful it is.
Yeah.
So they brought him in with Okada. That time there is Okada.
In Abuja.
That is Nizamiya Hospital. Okay. So they brought him in, and then the ED, you were there. You were in I think you still didn't leave Nigeria. So they brought him into the ED. From Okada now, that level is not his level. It's a big man hospital, right?
Right.
So the doctors were telling him, no, go to another hospital, go to a small hospital. In the US, that nonsense. If you trust anything that jeopardizes the patient's life, you'll be in trouble.
Right.
You'll be in
That's
trouble. Protect anybody to get first-hand treatment first before talking about money here in the US.
Yeah.
That's a big difference between Nigeria and
yeah. Thank you so much. So one thing is, we're going to make a deal with you, Kasim. It looks like we are rushed on this program. Normally, we are more relaxed and everything, but we're going to make a deal. We are bringing you back, at least in the next quarter of this year. We need to bring you back to talk clinicals, okay? We've done a biography and everything, but we're going to go in details into a regular ICU nurse experience in the US, how your day-to-day life is. Start from clock in to clock out. What do you do? Everything that you do, so that people back home in Africa can begin to put themselves in that shoe. One day I'm going to clock in as well, do this procedure, do that procedure, and the rest of them. It kind of gives you motivation and something to hope for, and kind of helps you in your waiting process. But I believe that as we progress, things will get better. There's a question that I think I might not be able to answer, and Kasim is not in a good place to answer that question. But next week, on Friday,
you
said?
I can give you 10 more minutes.
Okay, 10 more minutes. Thank you so much, Kasim. So we have 10 more minutes from Kasim right now. So somebody is asking, let me start from the beginning and see. Okay, so somebody is asking, will the current president influence retrogression? And the thing is, I don't know the answer to that question. And I don't think, Kasim, under whose administration did you come in? Was it Biden or was it Trump?
So with my own experience back in Nigeria, it was Trump that made all the process stop. So when Trump came in, that's when my process stopped. Right? When Trump is about to leave, that's when my process started. And immediately Biden came in, that's when I came in. So with my own experience, I can boldly tell you that, well, this man is deporting people right now. He's saying American first. He's going to give a lot of incentives for people to go to school, to get qualification as nurses and stuff like that. But however, United States tries to, because the thing is that it is a kind of a low level label for them to bring in people from Africa and other places. They are not going to train people here in the US, right? So they will still be short staffed. However, they try. The process is going to be slow, but it's still going to trickle in. It's still going to trickle in. If you are in the pipeline, then just say that one day you're going to be here. One day you're going to be here. There are people that I know that stayed for more than 10 years without, hoping they will come. Hoping they will come, right? Yeah, I know one or two people that stayed longer than I, right? Indians were retrograded for almost 15 years before, but because they are ambitious, you will still see them coming in. And when you have one-to-one discussion with them, like some of the Filipinos, they will tell you they've been trying to come into the US 20 years back.
Yes. Yeah. It's that bad. Like most of them come in when they are like mothers of, almost teenagers. They come in with their teenagers and they will tell you they started the process as single ladies. You understand? So
that does not mean telling you that's going to be your fate. No.
No, we're not wishing you that.
There are a lot of people that I trained even back in Nigeria when I was doing the ICU, the NCLEX stuff, and I became very conversant. And there are new people that came in. So I trained them and they came before me. Like they came, I trained them 1 year after they came into the US and I'm still back in Nigeria.
Yes, it happens. It happens. It happens. I'm telling you guys, it does happen.
Yeah. So a good time is the best. If you're in the pipeline, that is the most important thing. You're in the pipeline. If you don't start, then that's the big problem. But if you have already started, then you're already somewhere. Yeah. They said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
One step.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, now another thing, a very crucial, question I would like to ask. I don't know if you have a question, an answer to it is, I noticed, right, we have so many people on this call, from different parts of Africa, and don't feel that we are saying Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. Relate it to your country, please. Please, please, please. I just remember that now we have people from Kenya, people from Cameroon, Ghana, South Africa. We are all talking about the same thing. If it applies to Nigeria, it applies to you. If we are talking about being busy during retrogression, you can use the same formula in your own specific situation. And then this question I want to ask now seems to be somehow Nigerian too, but maybe in every country there will be people like that. So the northern people, we've tried so hard to penetrate into their circle to make sure that they are carried along in this journey, like, coming to the United States. But it's hard. It's hard. It's very, very hard. Like in National Hospital back then, if you tell your friends who are northerners that they should, come in and join you on the process, they always like, nope. And they preferred to go up the rank, up the ladder in the civil service and become whatever there is, So what is the reason for northerners' delay in taking up opportunities like this?
Well, I think one of the major thing is sensitization. They were not sensitized. So the ideology they're having about the United States is that because most of the northerners are Muslims, right? So they believe that America is against Islam, stuff like that. Some people are still thinking like that, right? And some people also believe that, okay, what they're seeing in the movie, children are not being respecting their families, their parents. So for that reason, I don't want to take my family to there, and then I don't want to just crumble their upbringing. Okay. But majority of the thing that I now begin to, because I talked to you before about this, and on my part, I have encouraged one or two people. They took because right now they prefer going to the Middle East, which doesn't pay much, but it's still better than Nigeria, right? Middle East, Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, and stuff like that. But some of them have taken the bold step, because they know how much. Sometimes I used to come out and tell them how much I'm getting as a travel nurse. So they were, wow, what? So that
can you tell us so that we can be wow?
So that sometimes encourages them to say, wow, okay, I think this is, and then I would tell them, well, I'm a Muslim. If you are talking about religion and I'm in the US, does that kill me? Or does that stop me from giving my children the good upbringing that I want them to have? That doesn't stop me. So it is the parental upbringing that matters more than the societal upbringing. If you give your children upbringing from home, then they will behave outside the home, right? That's the thing. So I think they need more sensitization, more reorientation. You know, they need to understand that they have to come out of their pockets to look at things ahead. Even if you retire as a director, how many directors have we seen in Nigeria retiring and then ending up, sorry to say, reading newspapers?
Exactly, man. You said it all. Mr. Kasim. Thank you so much. So I know we still have like 5 more minutes with you. So Northerners, the ball is in your court. This is one of you. And you know, we mentioned Zena. No, what's the name of that lady that came with a nursing mother? Medina, yes. Medina is also here. She's one of the people that took up the process, ran with it with us. And, there was no religious discrimination in the process. There was there's no discrimination whatsoever, in all that. And they were already, they're already doing well here in the US. I know many. I've had so many people from the northern, but the quantity is small compared to what we're having from the west and from the east, moving in their drones. Okay, so now another thing I would like to ask, questions are popping up now, they're waking up. That's how my people do. So, but what I would like to ask again is, about this discrimination. So since you've been in the US and you've been working as a travel nurse, have you experienced any kind of discrimination, or will I say, how will I put it now? The thing that the Northerners fear, back home, even about training your children when your children go to school and everything. Have you experienced any kind of discrimination that will make you think, oh, what their fears is actually valid from back home?
So I think this question, it's rather been expanded to African generally than Northern. It's not about religion. Yes, it's not about. So the first time I came into the US, I was thinking we're being discriminated because we're blacks, with this, with that. I mean, I'm a
Kasim,
little
you're
bit.
not black, that's how that's. I'm not telling you you're not black. If you leave your hair a little longer now, I know your hair is curly. Then in National Hospital, you used to have curly hair. So if you leave your hair a little longer, you'll be like them. You blend in, right?
Well, where I'm living right now is called New England. That's where the rednecks are, and that's where the pure whites are. So if I'm in their midst, I am like a black person.
Okay. There are different shades of white, guys. There are different shades of white.
So yeah, is the whitest states in the whole of America. New England has about 7 states. Boston, Massachusetts is there, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, right? So those are some people say part of New York, but New York is not New England. So those 6 states are the most whitest states. I mean, they are the last people that even stopped the whole slavery and stuff like that. And my state is the last state to stop it. So, and I've been stayed from beginning till today. I haven't left. My house is there. I bought a house in Maine. Living in Maine, and I love the people in Maine. Why? Because over time, I begin to realize it is you, not about them.
Right.
You have to accept yourself, and you have to allow yourself to relate to them and to make yourself valuable to them and to be acceptable by them, then you can now fit in. If you decide to say, oh, I'm African, these are white people, let me stay on my side, then you'll be in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. In the beginning, I find it difficult to relate because of my background, but now I think there's no white person that can stand with me and I cannot have conversation with him.
Exactly. That's good. Thank you so much. There's so many questions, but I'll handle some of those questions myself. We have just 1 minute, Mr. Kasim. So we have a lot of people that have listened to you today, over 80 people on the call. I just want you to, give one word of advice to people generally, those that are still in this process. What would you say?
One thing that I would say is that you guys have done a tremendous job, because you've just started, or you've been in the process of becoming independent. You're in a process to become financially stable. You are in a process to empower your family, because not only about you. When you come in here, it's easy for you to give money back home. It's very hard for you to, if I should give very simple example about Nigerians now, if you're working either in a tertiary hospital and I ask you to give 50,000 naira to someone, it's a difficult thing for you to do. Why? Because the money doesn't have any value, and they don't pay us very well in Nigeria. Same thing with all other African countries, right? So if you come in here, you will have financial independence and you will have the freedom to do a lot of things like schooling. You can have choices of doing what you want to do, right? So I will advise you to keep up the good work you guys have been doing. This is the same process we went through. All of us, we have different stories to tell, but we followed the same tube to come into the US. Nobody went in through a tunnel like the Mexican and the other people do. No, we came in through the same channel. So you guys have gone far, and I will encourage you guys to continue what you guys are doing. One day it's going to be a story that you will tell. Just giving a story today, it will be your turn to give a story about yourself, about your journey to the United States. Yeah. Just keep busy, keep yourself busy. Find something doing more and more and more. If you like gardening, go and backyard, do some gardening. If you have, like me, who likes to connect with people, get more money, I'm a money monger. So you have to. There are times in when I was in National Hospital, for 1 week, we're in the same city, the same Abuja, but I will not see my wife for a week.
Wow.
She will be the one to take food from home, drive all the way to National Hospital to give it to me. You remember that cardiac ICU, that isolated ICU?
Right.
Surgery. That's why I had to read. She will bring food for me to eat. So just keep yourself busy, have hope. If you have not written your NCLEX, then NCLEX is very easy. To me, it's the most easiest thing as a Nigerian nurse. Is just for you to have the coaching, and that's all. If you have written your NCLEX, I believe this group has passed their NCLEX, all right?
Majority of them has.
Not passed their NCLEX is an easy thing. You guys are very opportune to have a Decency Academy. I know I've been hearing a lot of good things that have been happening. I have my people that have even enrolled in Decency Academy. So it's a good track you guys have taken. Keep the good work you're doing. May God bring all this retrogression to an end so that you guys can come in and have your dream fulfilled.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kasim. I don't know how best to tell you how grateful we are to have you on the program today. But Oliver wants some more. We are like Oliver Twist. We're going to talk clinicals, later on this program, where we'll just give you a topic. I won't ask you questions. We'll have you dissect that topic for us from beginning to the end. But I just want to say thank you so much for being in our program today. And guys, you've heard it all from Mr. Kasim. You've seen the long and short of his story. I believe a lot of you were motivated by his story, whether you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, any of the African country, or anywhere you're joining us from, even people from the US. I believe you were motivated. If you were not, I don't know what else that will motivate you, but this story is one of a kind. It's something that I believe that will motivate a lot of people who are on this process. So Mr. Kasim has to go because he has a few things to attend to right now. So we'll just, say thank you to him on the comment section. And then, Mr. Kasim, coming from me to you, you are a brother. Thank you. We cannot pay you. You know, I told you, I travel nurse. We can't pay you. If you tell me to pay you by hour now, I'll tell you we will not be able to pay you. This program is a free program. People are not paying to join it. So, but we are grateful that you were able to lend us your time today. And we thank you also. Say hello to your wife as well, who has been very supportive from the time that you started this process till now. You know, we all don't know the value of the people we have around us. They can extinguish our fire. If she said, this thing you're doing, don't do it again, and she keep on singing it for 2 months, you will stop. You understand? But she did not. She continued to support you, and here we are today, and recognizing you for the success you've had in your story. So thank you, and I wish you guys a successful stay in your country, in Maine, your state. I believe one day you move your family to Virginia, because a lot of people are coming to Virginia. So many people are coming. I don't want to mention them, but some people from your area are moving down here, and they have houses too. So you better be considering it. It's too cold. 10 inches is not a joke. You have to shovel your snow before you go out.
Well,
You have to
maybe
come out and shovel the snow before you step out of your house. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We are all here. So thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you very much, Kasim. All right, ladies. All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of day where we'll bring the program to a close. But before we all go out of the show today, we're going to take time to go through the questions that you have all asked on the comment section. So I just want to say a very big thank you for being here. There's a lot of people on the call. Thank you. Next time we'll have to do better. Next week, we're going to have Mr. Douglas. You all know famous Mr. Douglas is going to be on this show. He's a immigration attorney in Arizona. He's going to be on this show to tell us what to expect in this Trump dispensation. So if you have asked me any question about Trump administration, I'm not an attorney. I cannot answer such questions, but I am very sure that Mr. Douglas will be able to answer your questions next week on the 7th. Look out for our flyer on the 7th. Mr. Douglas will be here. He will give us many insights to what is happening now, what to expect, which route that he thinks that we should be looking into, and many other questions that you have. You can ask him. Just come with your question. You know how he does. He might not have so much time, so what he would do is he will say a few things and then you ask your questions. If you are very, very enthusiastic and ask him a lot of questions, he will stay on the program and give you answers. But if not, we'll just end the program when he's done talking. But I want you to come with your questions next week. So next week, Friday, is going to be a time for Mr. Douglas. And I can go on and tell you all the programs that we have slated for the entire month of February. So February is fully booked. We have all our program marked. Our calendars are marked. The whole of Fridays in February is filled with programs. So on the 7th, we're going to have Douglas. On the 14th, where 14th fell on Friday, and February 14th, people like to go out. So I don't know if we're going to have people here on that day. I don't want to bring a heavy guest to this program on the 14th and we don't have anybody. So we are going to skip 14th for lovers. So if you want to go out with your spouse, go out with your babes, you can do that. But on the 21st, we're going to be having Pearson. That's Pearson, a company called Pearson. The regular Pearson that conducts NCLEX exam. We're going to be having representative from Pearson come for this program on the 21st, and then on the 28th, we're going to be having a program on direct hospital hire. So all of this February is filled up, except for 14th that we left because we know that 14th is going to be Lovers Day. We don't want to be adding seminars on your program on the day you want to enjoy. So that's all we have for February, and the March is already getting filled up again. So like I said, when we're starting, if you have any topic you want us to discuss, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to go through it. Let me go through the questions right now. All right. So let's see. The first question I have is that someone is asking that I haven't been able to get any agency sign me because I don't have a bedside experience. I have passed my NCLEX since September. What do I do? So what you do is try and get a hospital experience. As soon as you get a hospital experience, reach out to me. I should be able to get you a contract. Okay, so once you are able to get a hospital experience, reach out to me. We will get you a contract. Okay, and that's to Onyinye. I think Onyinye, I answered you as well. So Dele is also asking, please, I don't know much about H1B, but people are advising me to try H1B because I'm single. I just passed my exam. H1B is a type of visa. It's a dual intent visa. It has an immigrant portion and a non-immigrant intent. A non-immigrant visa with an immigrant intent. So you can come in with it and at the same time continue to pursue becoming a US citizen from the H1B. First of all, you got to go to green card, then you become a citizen. A lot of people do H1B now as a shorter route to come to the US. It used to be one of the H1B categories used to be the one that was provided for nurses to be able to come in when there was shortage of staff. But because it's not an end visa, you will still come back here and be looking for, by next year, by next 2 years, I have to start, working on how I can get, regularized and become a citizen. So a lot of people didn't choose that option. They rather go for EB3 petition because EB3 is kind of an end visa, which if you get your EB3, you come over here, there's nothing again, you're talking with anybody. All you know is at the end of 5 years, you approach the USCIS and do your fingerprinting. If you don't have any criminal record, they will give you citizenship. That's how we all got our citizenship in the United States. We stayed 5 years, went to the USCIS office and got our citizenship. But for the H1B, you will stay 3 years. And if you're unable to get your green card in 3 years, you can apply for another 3 years, but you cannot apply for more than 6 years. So you cannot have a H1B for more than 6 years. Okay, so during that time, you should be able to get a job that could file for you and, give you a green card from their filing. Okay, so there are 2 different categories. There is a cap exempt one and then non-cap exempt. So for those that are applying there's hospitals in the US that are non-profit hospitals. So like all these Christian hospitals, Catholic hospitals, that they are non-profit. They can apply for H1B for anybody at any time. But most of those hospitals are not many. So for those hospitals that are for profit, they have to go through the lottery system, which is the one that always comes up every February ending to March ending. So between February ending to March ending is when we'll start getting gathering applications for H1B. And just to let you know, Decency Staffing Solution was one of the applicants for H1B in the last session, and we got some approvals, of which majority of them are, planning to arrive the US as soon as possible. All right, so Dele, I believe that answered your question. If you have written your exam and passed, I guess the best thing is just to make a decision. If you want to follow the H1B route, there are different hospitals that might, have that applied for you. But if you want to follow the EB3 route, I guess you just sign one good contract, pass it by someone to make sure that is a good contract, and then sign it and get your priority date, because that priority date is what will let you into this country when the time comes. Because what I believe is that with time, you will see this retrogression visa bulletin coming closer. So when it moves from December to January, it will capture some people. I know that some countries are not giving, and that's part of what I want to mention in this program now. So some countries are not giving dates, but I've seen a little move, a very swift move, and Mr. Douglas have talked about that in our program, that if you are in any agency and your country is not issuing IDs, you can talk to your agency and see if your agency can switch you from your country embassy to another embassy. So if you are in South Africa, for instance, and South Africa does not have dates for interview, you can decide to go to Cameroon, which is a smaller country, and then you'll be able to get dates there for interview. Go there, travel to the country, go there, go for your interview and come out. So people are doing it. You know, some companies have come up with this as a solution to, you know, some of the things we are noticing in the system. I don't know for how long it's going to be before the whole thing resets, but it's something that is worth trying. So if you are in any agency and you can talk to anybody in your agency, just talk to them and see if they can move your application from your country to another. It doesn't stop anything. Your priority date is still intact. It's just moving the place where you will do your interview. Like, for instance, if I am waiting on this process and I relocated to Canada, for instance, I will tell my agency, you have to move my my interview consulate to Canada, because I'm now in Canada, so that I can attend my embassy interview in Canada and then come out. So with that, the quota of the dates, you know, the dates allotment of dates of Canada is what I will now be using. So some people have approached me that this is what has been going on, and this is what some agencies have already started doing. The success of it is what I have not really ascertained, but I know Mr. Douglas talked about it as a viable option, and he showed us in the USCIS website, where they stated that they said that if you're not getting in your country, you can move to another country and have your embassy interview done in those countries. Countries that have lesser volumes, you can check first before you go. You can check the wait time for consulates, US consulates in Cameroon, in Ghana, you just check around and see if you have some that has a lesser wait time, then you can go there and you'll be able to get a date. All right. So it might be the end of the problem we're having now with dates. It might be, it might not be, but it's something worth trying. It will not stop you from anything. It will not make anybody you know, disapprove your visa or anything. It's just going to be part of the process. If you're current, this is for people who are current. It's not everybody. If you're current, that's when you can do this. So if you're like 2021, 2022, beginning of 2022, you can do this with your agency and see if it hastens the process. All right. So I believe that answered your question. Let me see. Do we have another question? Now people are coming in because, you know, normally we start by 6 p.m. and now it's 6 p.m. Now people thought that we're starting at 6 p.m. today. You got to read our flyers, guys. It's not always 6 p.m. We treat you. Some people will say it's a prank. Okay, so all right. So let's see more questions. Somebody is asking, what is your YouTube link? Salamaris, if you are in this call, please, can you put our YouTube link on the meeting or this thing? I can't go and copy it and come back again. I'll mess up my screen. So can you put our YouTube link on the meeting platform so that people can use it and go and view the meeting? Those are just coming. So Rebecca is asking a question. Rebecca said, okay. Where is Rebecca? I missed Rebecca's question. Okay, let's see, Rebecca. Okay, I missed Rebecca's question. I think I will just go ahead and continue with the other questions that I see here. So, yeah, Dr. Femi was saying, thank you so much for this beautiful, interesting session. I am motivated to take a bold step. Thank God for you, Dr. Femi. Dora is also said, I've received a job offer from a hospital in Maine. I have been a little anxious about the place. And I say, thank you for speaking well about the place. Now I have some confidence. Yes, you should have confidence. You have a brother, you have sisters. In fact, Mr. Austin Christopher, who is my bosom friend and one of the pioneers of this US dream and move, he's also in Maine. You know, I've been trying to convince him to come to Virginia. I want to bring everybody to Virginia. All right, so now Nick is asking, I said, amen to your wonderful prayers. And Deborah said, amen. Thank you so much for encouraging. All right, so we're going to stop the recording now. I guess our audience don't need all that. So, but I just want to tell you, keep a date, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then just keep, listening to us. If you have questions, drop it on the comment section. We will get to it. We'll answer all your questions there. So thank you for watching, and God bless you. I'm going to stop the recording now.